Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Zamir bin Sutiman and I'm from Bulletin Echo. I would like to talk about Argentina. So before that, what is Argentina? Argentina is a South American country that covers most of the continent's southernmost region. It is the world's 8th largest country and covers a larger area than Mexico and the state of Texas combined. However, Argentina has suffered periodic economic issues, including inflation, debt crisis, and fluctuating exchange rates. So now, I'm here with Prof. Bella. So Prof, following the inflation problem in Argentina, what policy measures can be implemented to overcome this issue, Prof?
Hi everyone, nice to meet you. You can call me Miss Bella. I'm an economy professor that worked at one of the public universities in Malaysia. Regarding the news about the inflation problem in Argentina, there's two policies that can overcome the issue. The first one, monetary policy tightening. The Argentina central bank could decide to increase interest rates in order to decrease the money supply and tame the inflation. The central bank would have to strike a compromise between maintaining inflation control and averting an economic slump, as high interest rates have the potential to hinder economic development. The second policy is fiscal policy reform. One of the main causes of the inflation is the budget deficit, which may be reduced by the government through fiscal reform. Reduce reliance on money creation by the government to cover deficits, which drives inflation, can be achieved by lowering wasteful public expenditure and increased revenue collection. Reducing subsidies and government price interventions may also contribute to economic stabilization, even if they may be unpopular at first and raise living expenses temporarily. And that's all my opinion regarding this matter. I hope Argentina can turn the table around and save their economy.
Thank you, Prof. Bella, regarding on the policies. Now, let's move on to our Prime Minister, Ms. Safia. Ms. Safia, based on the information, we found that Argentina is facing an inflation. Can you give us some explanation about that issue?
Thank you for the question. To fully address Argentina's current situation, I'd like to highlight two key issues. Firstly, there is an instability in the economy. The recent decrease in inflation to 8.8% might seem like a positive sign, but we must approach this carefully. Despite the reduction, our economy remains deeply unstable. The projected 2.8% contraction in our gross domestic product (GDP) this year highlight the broader economic challenges we are facing. A drop in GDP means less economic activity, which is partly due to the fact that people are simply spending less because they can afford as much. Even though inflation has decreased slightly, the high cost of living continues to erode the purchasing power of everyday Argentinians. Many families have seen their standard of living declines as they are forced to cut back on essential spending. For example, many households have shifted from eating beef, which is a staple in our culture, to more affordable alternatives like chicken and pork, showing just how strained family budgets have become. This reduction in spending impacts businesses, slow economic product, and if not dealt with, could further destabilize our economy. Furthermore, the second issue is the gap between wages and the rising cost of living is a serious concern. Inflation surged by 65% in the first 4 months of 2024, while wages has stagnated or even declined. This has placed enormous pressure on ordinary Argentinians. For instance, a worker earning the minimum wage of $264 per month is now facing rent increases of up to 90%. This creates a heavy financial burden, making it harder for people to afford even the basics like housing, utilities, and foods. People are being forced to make difficult decisions, often at the cost of their quality of life. This growing gap between what people earn and what they must spend is deepening social inequality and pushing more Argentinians into poverty. My government must urgently focus on closing this gap by taking decisive action to stabilize the economy and ensure fair wages and support for those most affected. Addressing these challenges with a comprehensive strategy is essential for promoting both economic stability and social fairness in my nations. Thank you for giving me the chance to discuss this crucial issue affecting my country, Argentina.
Now, let's move on to the last question. As a result of the price increase or what we call it inflation, what is the negative impact faced by the people here? Can you give me some explanation, Miss?
Thank you, Zamir, for asking question and us concern towards what happened in Argentina, especially to Argentina citizen. So, by the way, in our country, we are facing inflation here because of our minimum wages for regulated workers was just 264 Argentina pounds. However, workers in the unregulated economy were frequently paid less. So, let me explain briefly what make it inflation make it impactful to us, which is that okay, our wages are still same, keep maintained or certain will decrease. However, the price is high. So if you want to buy essential needs, however, the price is increased. How can we buy it since the essential is increased? Okay, so because of that, since the Argentina peso lost buying power and many people and company has switched to doing business in US dollars, the goal of this process called dollarization, which is to maintain value in a more stable currency in certain places. However, bartering has also grown in popularity to avoid the decline value of money, particularly among lower class population. So, to avoid using peso, which are perceived as becoming increasingly worthless, people directly exchange product and service. People are forced to spend their saving, force or convert them into more stable foreign currency, since the value of the peso declines swiftly, decreasing the buying power of saving in local currency because of inflation. People trust in financial system has decreased as a result of inflation uncertainty, making them afraid to keep their money in bank. This has worsened the reduction in buying power and further destabilized the economy. Based on the recent research revealed that 50% of Argentina, which is 70 million poor individuals, are in poverty, unable to meet their basic nutrition needs. Over 60 million people are affected by 37% living below the poverty line. Working or middle-class household without social program support are most affected in this situation, as they spend more on housing and food. A large number of people see a decline in their actual income, which causes an increase in the number of persons and family living in poverty. Inflation effects on the economy frequently result in job losses and company closures, which is raise the rate of poverty. Other than that, due to the discrepancy, there is now more economic inequality, and a great percentage of individuals are working in the informal economy, which offer lower salary, less secure employment, and no benefits like healthcare and pension. Families living in poverty frequently find it difficult to satisfy their demands, which increases the risk of malnutrition, undernourishment, and hunger. Untreated malnutrition and extreme poverty might cause a youngster to struggle as an adult to provide for their family. Food shortages are made worse by inflation, which also raises food costs and may keep people in a circle of poverty for years.
In conclusion, to prevent negative effects on the economy of Argentina, such as the ones already described, appropriate and essential steps must be taken to lower the country's excessively high rate of inflation. Consequently, the government is moving on with its strategy and has made a number of attempts to address this economy issue. Now, we are at the end of the program. We will meet next time. My name is Muhammad Zamir bin Sudiman and Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye.